Good afternoon, and welcome to Everybody, the podcast which shares stories that highlight people in life that make the world an interesting place, which ultimately ties us all together in unique and wonderful ways. And who am I, you might ask? I would be the head wrap socialite, wife, mom, micro influencer in the fashion and etiquette world. But on this podcast, I will be introducing you to some people who I've had the opportunity to meet along my journey, who have helped enrich me in my life in beautiful ways, and who I hope will do the same in yours. Today's guest is someone who moves through the world with quiet clarity, an impeccable eye, and the kind of humor that cuts through the noise. Javier is a curator by nature of spaces, of style, of feelings. He doesn't seek the spotlight. Instead, he invites you into his glow by his thoughtfulness, restraint, and rhythm. We first crossed paths while I was in California in a shop which felt more like a gallery, even in the midst of all that beauty. It was Javi's presence that stood out. He's a little mysterious, warm, but not performative. He is the kind of person that you instantly know has lived a life worth living, a life worth listening to. So please help me in welcoming my friend Javi to the show.
Thank you. Wow, what an introduction. I'm not used
So
to it.
you deserve all the things.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Can you tell the listeners a little bit about who you are?
I was born in Nicaragua and I came to America in 1978 because of the revolution, that civil war that happened in Nicaragua. It was quite shocking. I mean, the fact that I was able to get here, I know it saved my life because there were the people, these revolutionary people, were actually taking anyone, male, from their homes to go out and fight. And families had absolutely no choice and no vote in it. So I probably would have been taken away to go out and fight. And I was quite young, 11, 12 maybe. That's where I come from. And I feel that I am simple, um, not intentionally complicated, but maybe complex. And I really work at not being complicated.
Have you always been that way? Is it something you noticed about yourself, or did others point that out?
Unfortunately, I would say, I think I have been misjudged and misunderstood most of my life. hmm And I feel that sometimes they've used complicated instead of complex. And when I say complex, it's because when one thinks, then you get opinions. And then when you get opinions, then you get thoughts and you get, and then if you add experience and then you add a certain style about the way you do things and you keep adding and adding, it becomes more complex. It's not necessarily complicated, but it's more complex. It could be as simple as I rather do these many cushions on a sofa instead of two. Someone might find that complicated or difficult or demanding, or you see, but that's because that's just another layer in how I want to live, or how I would want maybe the sofa to be inviting.
For sure.
And someone who believes they are simple, they believe being simple means I don't really care whether it's got 2 cushions or 6 cushions or 5. And why are you being so complicated that you must have 5 cushions? And it's not about being complicated. It's people are not easy, but they're not complicated. It's just complex.
Right. And it's like, think too, you ask people to understand where you are. Because I always say people always like to label those things which they don't
Always.
understand, right? Because then it makes their lives a lot
Easier.
simpler. We'll put him in this
This is
box.
what and
Yes.
I already know exactly what to do with that. Yeah.
Right. Instead of doing the work to understand
Yes.
the complexities of
Yes.
human nature.
And the
Mhm.
finding out.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Do you think we get to a point, because I know at this point of where I am in my life, I want to get to understand who people are, not to judge.
Mm,
Do we reach a point in our lives where we're open to that?
to
You
not
know?
judging.
Yes. Because think about when we're children. You don't know anything as a kid. You're like 3, 4, 5. You like someone because you like
Yes.
someone. They ask questions, you answer. There's no in between. You see people for what they are. And this is a question that I've asked a couple of other guests. When do you think that part of life becomes jaded?
I think it's related to the spirit, meaning how strong it is when you come into the world. And
Mm,
I'll say this because
mm,
it becomes jaded, as you call it, or it becomes
mhm,
highlighted. I
mm,
used to see people as people until I was told I was terribly ugly.
mm.
And then I became aware that there is a non ugly. Do you know? Does that make any sense to you? I might not have been strong enough spiritually at that point in time in
Mm,
my life that it made a shift. And
yeah.
so I walked about for a long time looking and thinking, this is ugly and this is not. You see,
Mhm.
I didn't know. I really, truly do not recall before the age of 12 thinking that anything or anyone would be ugly until I was told I was.
Mm,
So I thought, well, if I'm truly ugly physically, then there's got to be a not ugly physically. And
mm.
what is it?
Wow.
And you know what's very interesting? I think it's an experience that all human beings we go through, and I feel
Mhm.
that young people are going through it now through social media, and also adults are going through it by watching those shows on television that are dictating to you how and what you should look like, eat, and dress like.
Right.
And I didn't go through it, except I was just simply told over dinner,
Mm.
you're terribly ugly, you know?
Oh.
But I will say something to you, which became very interesting. I didn't stay, and this is completely maybe off the subject. I didn't really stay with the ugly parts. I
Mhm.
remember the whole message,
Mhm.
and I was able to unconsciously, not consciously,
Mhm.
unconsciously, from a 12-year-old mind. We were having dinner at home, and she said, you know, you're very ugly.
Mm.
And I just looked at her, an adult in my family, and she said, and you're probably going to grow up not being terribly attractive. And then I remember saying, well, you're actually mentioning something to me. You're bringing up something to me that I can't do anything about. This is
Mm.
it. This is the way I
Mm.
look. This is the way I came out. And
Mhm.
she said, well, let me give you something you can actually do something about. And I said, well, what is it? And she said, well, maybe you can't do anything about the way you look, but you can do something about your style.
Mm.
You can create your style. Instead of wanting to change myself physically, I always felt I had control in how I lived my life. So I always worked at trying to make it as lovely looking as possible. Although I have enjoyed setting up a table and making it welcoming and lovely for whoever I choose to share it with, um, there was always the other side, which was created from not being good looking enough. I lived my life feeling not being good enough, not
Mm.
being thin enough, not being smart enough, not being clever enough, not being, you see. So I had
Mm.
both parallel, you know. Oh, Javi, what's a lovely table. Oh, Javi, how lovely you're dressed tonight. But
Mm.
always having the other side of, I'll never be good enough. You see,
Mm.
I feel it's happening today just differently. You know, I think it happens to most of us, and we're just not really talking about it enough,
Mhm.
truthfully. And when I used to work for Dior, I met women from Brazil to Panama to Florida to just name it, because I traveled a lot because of work. They were all the same.
Mm.
They never felt good enough. You see,
Mhm.
and now it's the same, and that's why we've got, you know, you do this to your face, and you do this to your body, and you do this to your cheeks, and you do this to your lips, and you do this to and
Right.
I don't know why it's not being, or maybe it's being talked about. I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe not
Mhm.
enough. Certainly not in schools when we're young and we should know.
For sure. I wanna go back to what you first said. I will tell you that I am surprised that a family member, it's surprising, but not, because usually criticism that we receive as children does originate from the family.
Sometimes they're the ones that
But
skew the most.
that's it. There are 2 things that I wanted to share with
Mm,
you. First of all, you are
mm,
gorgeous, because the first thing that I noticed about
mm,
you was the beauty in which you held, and dare I say, glamorous.
Isn't that interesting?
And
Uh,
that is the first thing. We talk about the physicality of it, but you are simply beautiful.
Mm,
And then I also thought when you started to talk about the things we hold. For me, when I was younger, we were told black skin is not beautiful.
mm,
Your full lips, your full nose, not beautiful.
mhm,
And it was not until I started to fully become aware of who I was in this
mm.
world that I'm like, okay, you're telling me that my black skin is not beautiful. You're telling me my full lips full, my body is not beautiful. But then there are so many people who emulate
Of
that.
course.
I'm like, what could be the truth here? Whoever told you that you were not beautiful and wanted to take your look, your clothes, your style, there had to be something that they saw within
Yes.
you that they did not recognize in
Yes.
themselves to
Yes,
unpack.
it took me decades to it. The sad part was that she was 50 something and I was 12. That's the sad. But it took me
Mhm.
decades, and I actually did a bit of work. Not too much, but some
Mm.
that I
Mhm.
had the opportunity to go back and see her. She didn't even remember everything she said to me. I would suggest anyone, if you have the opportunity to do it, to do it. And And even if the
Mm,
person has passed, do it. I had the opportunity and I met her and I said, I
mm,
just want to give it all back to you because what you said to me, it's not mine. And she said, what did I say? So I repeated it and she said, I don't remember. And I said, well, I do. And that's all that really
mm,
matters that I remember. It was one step forward towards
mhm,
healing. I
for
still
sure.
have a lot more, but yeah.
If you could go back and talk to your 12-year-old self,
Mm,
what would you say to your 12-year-old self?
what would I say? I think I probably would say a lot, but I think that first thing that comes to mind is you're whole
Mm,
because of so many experiences that I went through rather young,
mm,
chipped away my wholeness. And back then, I mean, no one said to me, we're not meant to be perfect, we're meant to be whole.
mm,
And so I just kept reaching for perfection, not in me physically, but in everything around me had to
mm,
be perfect, which is
right.
utterly impossible. You know, even to this day, I'll leave the kitchen spotless and it only lasts 1 minute before
Yeah,
someone walks in
yeah,
and just drops
yeah.
another plate in the sink that was spotless.
Mm,
You see,
uh-huh,
it's just
uh-huh.
nothing. It's everything is impermanence in life. Nothing's ever permanent. Nothing lasts
Mm,
forever, ever. Nothing.
mm,
Absolutely.
for
I
sure.
don't think we would be able to withstand it. Even
Right.
beauty,
For
I
sure.
don't think so.
For sure.
I think we would go
Right.
absolutely nuts if every flower in your garden remained lovely
Right.
24/7
Right.
for the rest of your
Right.
life.
Exactly.
To see it age and you have to see it die and you've
Exactly.
got to see it reborn again.
Exactly. Exactly. Change is the way of the
Mm.
world. Whatever that change
That's
looks
why I
like,
find
it's
gardening very therapeutic because
oh
it
my
teaches you
goodness.
patience.
Patience. Yes.
Absolutely. Because
Yeah.
if you're growing
It teaches
anything,
you to love even
if you're growing
exactly.
anything, it's not going to happen overnight. So it teaches
No.
you patience and it also teaches you, you're able to see death and
Yeah.
rebirth
Mhm.
all the
Mhm.
time.
Exactly. And respecting that
Mm?
process. Mhm.
So nothing is permanent.
I like that.
Nothing is ever permanent. It might feel it's going to
No.
last a long time, but it doesn't last forever.
No.
Anything, I don't
No.
think we're meant to withstand it.
I think you get to a point where you understand that change is beautiful. It's inevitable.
Yes.
What does your quiet time look like? Like, what do you do? What grounds you when you're not working?
Praying and creating.
I like that.
It's it grounds me because I feel
Mm,
it's organic
yeah.
for me. It's quiet time has never been lying down for me.
What things do you create?
I'll rearrange the kitchen. I'll garden. Just absolutely anything that puts me in a place of creativity, you know. But always to share it. I can't do it for myself. I've never been able to do it for myself since I was small. I've never been able
Hmm.
to enjoy it. Don't know why. Interesting. I mean, it can get I mean, I guess some people would say, "Oh, that's lovely that you want to share," but I think it's also important that you get something from it for yourself. And I
Mhm.
don't think I've always
Mhm.
been conscious to say, "I want to enjoy it for me, and I want to do it for
Mhm.
me." I have always been highly stimulated when I know someone else is in it. I
Ah,
can't do it alone. I don't know why. I
yeah.
have never been able to. My grandmama used to keep my color
Mhm.
pencils at home because it made me happy having them to give them away. And my grandmama would say, "We don't have enough money to get you more, so you've got to keep them at
Right.
home." But to me, I just never enjoyed having them if I couldn't. And it sounds odd, doesn't it?
No, because 'cause you're a sharer.
My mom said it. I guess I did it on calls.
Mhm.
Someone says, "Oh, what a lovely jacket. Oh, here, take it. Does it fit? Take it." Yeah. So my mom would say, "Would you please don't give
Please.
just keep your tie and keep your jacket
Yeah.
and keep, what will you do?" Someone says, "Great shoes."
Yeah, yeah,
What are you going to do? You know, I
exactly.
used to do it all the time. That's a great bracelet you're wearing. I would literally take it off and give it. Yeah.
Wow.
And
I hope you stop that.
uh, well,
At least with the bracelets and the rings.
I stopped, my social life became smaller, so that's probably why.
Okay.
It just became a lot less and smaller. I mean, it can be judged as, oh, you're not appreciative of your work and the money you spend buying those things. But to me, there were always things at the end
Yeah.
of the day,
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
and and if that person truthfully, and I could see it
Mhm.
that they truthfully
Yeah.
liked it, not
Mm.
want it,
There's a difference.
you know,
Yes.
I sensed
Mhm.
they
Mhm.
really, really liked it,
Right.
not want it, because I probably wouldn't give it if I felt.
Right. Because if the energy wasn't right.
Right, right, right. But I don't think I consciously knew it then. I think it was
Right.
my own spirit knowing the person would appreciate it, the person would like it, the person would keep it,
For sure.
the person would keep
For
it.
sure.
And so I gave it away.
I like your glasses, Javi.
Oh.
Just saying.
you know, and I think that's what made the difference to me. I think that
For
they
sure.
liked it.
Who are the people or what are the places that help you return to yourself when the world pulls you off course?
My sister and now my niece,
Mhm.
who I live with, both of them, they bring me back. They remind me in a good sense.
Yeah.
Um, they'll say something that will take me away from my ego. Oh, you know, don't believe that too much, Javi. That will keep me humble.
Yes.
It will bring
And I'm
me.
like, let me just
Yeah, I mean, they both absolutely do it. And there's a
that's
huge difference in ages. I mean, my niece is only 15, but she's got that sharp inherited sense of self, and oh yes, they'll keep me in check quickly. So they keep me humble. Yes.
I love that. I love that. And I have just 2 more
Yes.
questions for you. Do you see space as something more to be styled or something to be felt?
Mm.
How do you know when a space is right?
If it doesn't read as comfort, I have
That's
met people who pay attention to the space and
Mhm.
the architecture of it and the lighting. And if it does not read comfort to me, it's
Mhm.
yeah. It to me is comfort. I feel that that's probably one of the most prominent energy I have,
Mhm.
and I project, I think, comfort, you know.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
uh, when I've had women comments about what I'm wearing,
Mhm.
and it's happened to me many, 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 many times, I always used to think, hmm. why me and why what's I'm wearing? And I realized that they probably don't know it, but I feel it's related to comfort.
Mm.
And this is part of the complexities, I guess, that we talked about earlier,
Mhm.
because I really
Mhm.
don't dress the way it's commonly known that a man would dress. I can see that there are pieces or accessories that a man would find feminine or for a woman. So I see
Mhm.
how it can draw attention to women. If I start to dissect it, I don't. I
Right.
think that many things women wear are not meant to be comfortable.
Mm.
Feel that perhaps unconsciously, uh, the women who make a comment are probably women who might unconsciously be thinking,
Ah.
maybe thinking, how is it possible to look pleasantly well and be
Mhm.
comfortable? You see,
Mm. Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
so uh,
Counterintuitive almost.
right. And unless you're wearing shorts and a t shirt and trainers, uh, you're not comfortable. Yeah.
Right.
So the reason why I
Okay.
brought this up, I feel that that's my biggest, probably most prominent energy, whether
Yeah.
it's the sofa or
Mhm.
me. It's really comfort. It's
Yeah,
to be comfortable, always
I like
comfortable.
so I know my listeners are gonna be really mad if I don't ask you this
Oh,
question. When you worked for Dior,
mm.
what did you do?
Well, I started with makeup.
Mm.
Um, I think it must have been about 6 months, and
Okay.
then I went on to skincare, and then I went on to training, hiring, and it was a whole different world than it
Yeah.
is now. And that's when I realized with skincare and training and meeting hundreds of women, that's when I got to see that women in general didn't feel good enough.
Yeah.
It's tricky, but it's true.
Yeah, society can really do a number on people.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
feel that and this may sound maybe controversial or might not make me might not make me a popular person, but I feel that if women were more supportive of each other, I think a
Mm.
lot of this not being good enough would would change.
Going back to your original point that we spoke about in the beginning, feeling complete with who you are,
That's it.
right?
It's to be whole because
Right.
then you'll be able to see everything that you've got.
Mm. Oh, circle back to that point, to be whole,
Yes,
right?
yes,
To be complete.
yes.
Well, being able to recognize the smallest details that were meant just for you to find in this world. That's the oneness,
Mhm,
right? With who we are, the feeling of being complete. The internet,
mhm,
social media, those things will never, ever, ever be able to
mm,
fill
mm-mm,
our
mm-mm.
cups in the way that the
Right,
spirit
and to
needs.
say just one more thing, which is, I
Oh, yeah, yeah,
often
yeah.
do with friends at some point, not
Mhm.
when I first meet them, but at some point.
Mhm.
As a society in America, we're so caught into titles, right? So you're a mom, and you're a wife, and you're an executive, and you are,
Mhm.
the list goes on.
Mhm.
And I always ask
Mhm.
them, what's going on with Trina? Not the mom, not the wife, not the homemaker, not the executive, not the model, not the
Mhm.
artist. You.
Mm. Mm.
Where are you?
Mm.
You see? And I just asked someone the other
Beautiful.
day that question. I said,
That's beautiful.
I say, your kids are growing. They're going to go to
Mm.
college. right?
Mhm.
And now you won't be
Sure.
filling up your gaps by being a mom.
Right.
So where are you in you?
Mm. That's a great question. I can tell you in this moment, at this time, my cup is full.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how I
Mm-hmm.
feel, in this moment to sit in this space, share this space with you, my friend,
Mm-hmm.
my cup is
Mm.
full. There's
Yes.
nothing else that calls me but this moment.
Yes.
Do you have a mantra? Is there something that you wake up every day and say to yourself, something that allows you to be purposefully driven?
Yes. I have to feel everything.
Mm,
And I'll tell you, that's how I live my life. If
mhm,
I didn't feel this, what you and I are having at this very moment, I wouldn't do it.
mhm,
That's the underlying thread that connects my
mm,
whole life. If
mhm,
if I make a meal for you because I
mhm,
felt it, and if I
for sure.
didn't, it's because I didn't feel it.
Right.
Uh, so it sounds odd, but I don't do well with manners. I mean, yes, there's such a thing as diplomacy and all. Yes, I do understand it,
Mhm,
but I do well. I feel it's an affectation. When people say to me,
mhm,
"Oh, you're so nice," I always say, "I'm not. Mickey Mouse is nice. I'm
right.
not nice. Nice to me, it's an affectation.
Yeah.
So if I give you a gift, I felt it. If I gave you a
Yes.
hug, I
Yeah.
felt it.
Mhm,
And when I don't do it and I get asked, why didn't you? And I say, because I don't feel it. So
mm,
let me be judged by others as for not being nice.
right.
But
I
be happy when I give it to you, it was authentic.
right. I think that's the point of authentic living. Authenticity is living in your truth.
You've got
Yes.
to own you.
Yeah, correct.
Do you own your womanhood? Do you own your
Mm.
manhood? At
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
points, some own it at
Yeah.
12, some
Right.
own it at 15. So once you
Mhm.
own
Yeah,
so
that's
once
true.
you own it, you can't live
Mhm.
a certain way.
No, I know
So
exactly.
I
Yes.
saw myself at 9 years old. This is what
Mhm.
I am. So at
Mhm.
9, I knew I was gay at 9 years old. How can I possibly not strive to be authentic the
Mm.
rest of my life about
Right.
everything of my life?
Mhm.
If I
Right.
saw it and I owned it
Mhm.
and I live it, I
Right.
mean, I don't wear it because until someone
Mhm.
mentions it, right? Like I don't even say it
Mhm.
like I said it now unless
Right.
it's got a purpose. You see?
Right, for sure.
So how
Mhm.
can I be a terrible liar? And how can I be
Mm.
inauthentic? And how can I be all
Right.
of that when at 9 years old, I know this and I know
Yeah.
for sure?
Mm.
You see? So
Mhm.
anything
Mhm.
fake won't fit, right?
Yeah. Right.
That's how I saw it. So I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
I knew it. I knew it
Mm.
100% at 9. So
Wow.
everything else that doesn't fit with the
Yeah.
truth, I
Yeah.
can't do it.
I like it.
Do you know?
Mhm.
Oh, be nice to so and so. Why? I'm not going to be rude, but I'm not going to go
Right.
out of my way to betray myself. But I'm not going to
Right.
pretend. How can I pretend
Mhm.
when I have not pretended since I was 9?
Right.
I guess I'm not clever enough to do it. How can I now? If
Right.
I have not pretended since I was 9, so how can I do it now?
I love that.
You know,
I love that.
it's no, I couldn't
If
do it.
if there is one thing you would hope that people who are listening to this podcast would take away, what would you hope that
That's
they would take away?
that you are just fine the way you are.
I love you.
You're just absolutely fine the way that you are in everything, everything, in everything.
Mm.
You're fine. You're fine. You're good. That's it.
Mm,
Yeah. You don't need anything and you don't need, you're fine. Just so,
mm.
yeah. I would love if
Ah,
anyone gets, yeah, that. Yeah. Uh huh.
mm,
Yes.
I love that. I love that.
Mm.
Um, mm, I'm gonna sit with that
Yes.
for a moment. Mm. Javi, in the beginning, you said there were no
No.
coincidences. And I know that it was not a coincidence that we
No.
met you
Absolute.
that day.
Absolutely not.
And I just want you to know how honored I am to sit in this space and share this space with you
Me
and your
too.
honesty, your humor. You've reminded me that spirit, that presence is a powerful thing
Mm-hmm.
without it having to be loud or
Mm-mm.
boisterous. And that sometimes the most elegant thing that we can offer is the restraint of who we are and who we are becoming. And I again thank you for this moment. To everyone who's listening, may this conversation invite you to sit down, to be present to the
Mm.
present, to trust and honor the
Mm.
beauty of being wholly
Mm.
yourself. And now that this interview has
Mm.
officially
Mm.
concluded,
Mhm.
I do have fun questions, or I think they're
Okay.
fun. Fun questions for you, my
Yeah.
friend. Okay, the first question is, if your style had a soundtrack, what song would your soundtrack be playing when you entered rooms?
Hmm. That's a difficult one. I would say it would have to be something with Ella Fitzgerald.
Ooh. What's a guilty pleasure you're actually not guilty about?
Guilty pleasure.
Mhm.
It's either food or buying myself something that I don't really need, and
Okay.
it's not 9.99, but I still want it, and I'll spend the money for it and get it. Absolutely, I don't feel bad about it. And the same goes with food. When people I hear them, oh my
Mm.
God, I shouldn't have had the pudding after dinner. Now I feel awful. I absolutely love it. I enjoy it. I enjoy it fully. I completely
That's
enjoy it
great.
fully, and I don't feel have absolutely no regrets. And do I need it? Absolutely not. Do I want it?
Uh-huh.
Yes. And I get it,
I
and
love
I
it.
get it. And even if I'm judged, oh my God, why would you want to
Yeah,
spend blah blah on a coffee table book? I want it, and it gives me great pleasure.
for
Yeah,
sure. I love indulgences.
yeah,
Okay, I could come back to the song.
yes. It's just that I love Ella Fitzgerald, and
No,
I
that's
have so many
great.
songs, so I have to choose one.
No. Okay, while you're working
Yeah,
on that, if your presence left behind a color,
it,
what would that
it
color
might.
be? If
Oh,
your aura could be a color, a scent, or a feeling, what would it be?
a scent. It would be
Mhm.
jasmine, definitely jasmine.
Oh, I'd love that.
And the feeling, again,
Mhm.
comforts, tranquility, and in a color. Actually, white. I
Purity.
think whites. And they all go back to my childhood, growing among priests and nuns. So I'm always attracted to the black and white.
So
And when I'm
interesting.
most comfortable and I feel good with it, I look like a priest. I'm wearing all black with the white, but it does not
Interesting.
make me unique because if you read Coco Chanel's biography, the black and white was because she grew up in a nunnery. So I'm not terribly unique about it. It just so
Mhm.
happens that I
Mhm.
happened to read and I thought, oh, there are two of us.